Hi, once again, it's me, Dan Wilson, and um, you might ask, why is this guy out here doing this kind of stuff, or what's he sharing this information for? You know, most of us live our lives kind of winging it. Um, I know I did for years. Matter of fact, I was 55 years old before I figured out, hmm, there's something off here. I knew there was something off all along, but um, I didn't know how off. I was very truthful, or I thought I was. I've always told the truth. Matter of fact, so much so I got in trouble all the time. What I found out was I wasn't being truthful with myself. And when I say self, again, that's the creation of the mind. Um, but, uh, well, actually, myself wasn't being truthful with me. I made up the programs for it. To go farther, so why it took me to 55 years old to finally figure out that I was living an illusion created by my mind. Um, Good question. There's a lot of people out there doing the same thing, sharing the same information. And I'm not a big reader, so a lot of things I didn't read. Um, there was one thing that I read 3 times through before I threw it aside, and that was the Bible. And then I finally said, this doesn't make a shred of sense to me at all. Anyway, to make a long story short, I would rather not see people still going through life or surviving life instead of living it. And then finally waking up at 55 saying, oh shit, this could have been done all differently. You know, that hindsight 2020s is 2020 where you can, you wish you knew then what you know now. Well, same goes here. I wish people could know now instead of later on going back then and really turn their lives around. So the very reason that I'm even sharing this stuff is because I know what I did to myself. And as I look around, I can see many, 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 many people doing the same thing. Um, so, therein is the crux of why I'm doing this. It's not for any special gain, even though it would be nice, um, but it's more for your gain. It's more for you to live life more fully, more extreme, more enjoyably, instead of this so called survival life that we're living. And along with all this, many might say I've lost my mind. Well, I sure hope so, because um, it's been in charge for a little longer than it should be. So, and hopefully you'll recognize it sooner than I did. What I've also noticed is that most of the people that are putting this stuff out there, it seems to be kind of masqueraded with different terms and different ways of stating it. And it's important for a lot of different people to be putting it out there in many different ways so you can put the parts of your puzzle together. And it still seems to be kind of secretive or covered up in the wording and just not in your face. So I intend to put it in your face about as straightforward as I can. No beating around the bush. And then if you start looking around at these other people that are doing the same thing, maybe they'll make something click so that you do see your part of the puzzle and you can start putting yours together, because it's a pretty complex puzzle. Our minds have done a great job of weaving things together to where you can really be lost in it. So I'm going to be point blank. I'm going to be straight to you. And hopefully it's helpful. Anyway, just so you know, this is Dan Wilson, and I intend to be putting a lot out there. So hope you'll join me. Hope they're helpful. And be well.